Ayo, it's Danny, and today I just want to talk to you guys about 2020 gun collection and what my random theory is about it. We're going to talk about why there are so many haters of gun collections, and some people are physically and mentally offended when someone talks about the guns they own. Who are these people, and what is going on in their minds that they're like, oh, you have a gun collection? They're gonna take it. Why do you have so many guns? All these questions they're asking that have no relevance to what you're doing as a law-abiding citizen in America. So with that said, we're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna jump into the nope, we're gonna skip the intro because this is important. I, as you know, have dropped some videos about my gun collections because I want to share it with you guys. I think it's important, and I think that this is something that if you support the 2A community as a law-abiding citizen, you should do. Because if the government decides that they're going to take weapons, I'm going to share that too. And I'm going to let everyone who needs to know that the government is trying to do ... But until that day, as a law-abiding citizen, I don't understand the problem with having a collection and sharing it. And furthermore, what is going on with these people who are offended with like gun collections? I don't understand. It's like, are they mad at people who have a lot of cars, planes, like pots? I don't know. I mean, I guess you're gonna find haters in like everything, but to me, this hits me in the core because it's just like we're kind of protesting on their behalf because once you take away 2A, 1A goes, 3A can go, 4A can go, and the people that's going to do most of the defending for these people who seem to have a passion of distaste for weapons, they're going to look for support from people who can defend themselves or feed themselves. I don't get it. My theory is that a lot of people are probably just jealous. I think they're jealous that people can afford guns. Certain cities, like when I lived in New York and I couldn't get a gun, I never really thought about it legally. I couldn't legally get a gun. Not to say that I had a gun illegally, but you can't legally get a gun in New York unless you're a cop or something. Legally, that is. Illegally, you can do whatever you want because you're a criminal. You don't care, which is the thing here. Like, why are law-abiding citizens being treated like criminals? But I digress. I never really, in New York City, when I couldn't have guns, I never really thought about it as anything. And I guess I used to think, not publicly, but mentally, like, why do people need guns? And, you watch movies, and movies do their own things with guns that are a little bit unrealistic and kind of cringy. But, it's a movie, and when you don't have any knowledge of it, you think that you can do it. It's sort of like you ever watched the Fast and the Furious, where they take a car, they shoot it off of like a building, because I'm into cars too, right? So they drove it through the building, through the glass, into another building on the other side. Like, I mean, it was a good distance, at least quarter of a mile, tenth of a mile. It was wide, and there's no way in any reality that car could do that. But the movies put that in your head that if you had this car, that you can do that. Like, even like things like the Italian Job, like, oh yeah, you think you could take a Cooper through a train station driving on tracks, but anyone who's ever driven a car, even on train tracks, knows that cars do not work like that at all. Same thing goes for guns. So you watch these movies, when you're kind of in the know, that certain like weapons don't work like that. And this is a delusion that they've set like on the masses. It's sort of like a what's the word, virus that a lot of these people have in their minds about how weapons function. And you're just like, is that what you think of when you see someone with a gun? Like, they see you with a gun and they think about like Predator. Like, all of a sudden you can like pop guns out of your arm and you become like the Terminator, and you are unkillable. Or you're some type of criminal or drug lord. Or, you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. This is just a theory of what they're thinking. I genuinely don't know what these people think, nor do I know what their problem is with people who have weapons and choose to share them. If you don't like what you see, don't watch the videos. You don't have to watch the videos. No one's shoving it down your throat. It's like you watch the video. Some of these people, they watch the videos to get irritated, to agitate themselves and to work themselves up in a frenzy. Like, oh, why do these people have so many? They hear that, oh, guns are selling. Like, if you're not one of the people buying the guns, you really shouldn't care what's going on. But that's not the world that we live in. Everyone gets offended because they just don't like the sight of it. Just the sight of a weapon is like enough to let some people go crazy. Like crazy. So I'm just saying, what I'm trying to figure out is what's people's beef with gun collections, and sort of encourage other people who have gun collections to share it. There's a lot of thought out there about like, well, why would you want to share guns with the government? Here's a tip. If the government wants to know how many guns you have, you cannot, as a law-abiding citizen, hide it from them. Okay? Okay, buddy, there's no way you can hide guns from the government. If you're on their watch list, they already know what you got, where you got it. They know. Especially if you're a law-abiding citizen. Because of all people in the world, law-abiding citizens are at the bottom of the ladder. They're the easiest to deal with. They're the easiest to deal with. Your concerns about the government and your particular payloads and weapons is almost pointless. In fact, you shouldn't even be thinking about whether or not you want to let them know what you have. Now, if they tell you to register a weapon and do all these laws to make you like go out of your way to tell them what weapons you have, okay, that's probably a little bit much. That's a little bit much. If they want you to go back to whatever systems they have and register each one of your weapons, okay, no, we're not doing that. But when you get a weapon, you already know you go through a background check. If you got a carry permit, they put your numbers in the system, they take pictures of your ID, and they put it with that paperwork. They put it. The banks know what kind of weapon, where you spent your money. They know whenever you go to your academies and your Bass Pro Shops and your local gun dealer and your gun show dealer, they all run it through a computer that sends it back to booking, and it's attached to your SS. Everyone knows this. Your name, your address, your social security, all that. All the information that leads back to you. So when you say things like, oh, the government's going to be all in my business, you're not that important. Because if they wanted to be in your business, they would be in your business. And if you're a criminal and you have like a gun collection video, well, then you are a brave criminal. And I also commend you on that level of dedication to thuggery. Because if you are so bold to put illegal weapons online, you are the kind of person that I don't want to meet in an alley or anywhere at that. So I'm just like, do your 2020 do your gun collection videos. In fact, do more than one. Every week, bust out a new video, because you need to saturate the internet with this to let them know that there are people in this world that support the 2A and the 2A community. Like, they need to know that this isn't like a black and white situation. There's a community of people who believe in free speech, the right to bear arms. And we're not going to take kindly to someone coming up with their 13 security guards heavily armed telling you that you can't have a weapon. Meanwhile, they're protected like a fort, like Fort Knox, because they think that they're more important than you. That's why they do it. And that's why they have people, they allow certain people to get certain weapons as long as they're working for them. But if they know and you tell them that you want like 2A to be left alone, then we can have some real change. That's what they don't want. They want to separate you. They want to separate us. They want to separate the 2A community and have a divide so that they can make their laws, and by the time it's in effect, there's nothing you can do about it. Because confusion is the way to get things done. With that in mind, remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Make your gun collection videos. Matter of fact, make your videos about you going to the range, you cleaning weapons, because it's not as taboo as the government wants it to be. Like, that's normal. And the cities that stop people from, like, showing their appreciation for 2A, they need to know that their citizens don't agree with that. All right? Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. I love y'all. 1.